Hello, my name is Michael Ramos, and I have been in the real estate world for, my entire life. My family and I have done it all and seen more from real estate sales, construction, and property inspections. And in all this time, what fascinates me the most about this industry are the people and how they changed their dreams into realty success.
This program is brought to you by City Home Inspectors, your one-stop shop for all your home inspection needs.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Dreams to Realty Success. Today we have Judi Rentas and Salome Beltran. Judi is a Chicago native and is licensed here in Illinois and also in Florida for the last 4 years. Salome is the man behind the scenes. He assists with all repairs needed in the properties and also does the heavy lifting that comes with the real estate world. This power couple has made a name for themselves when it comes to new home buyers, and they are definitely friends of the show. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I really do appreciate everybody coming into the show. This is like my new baby, so I'm loving this project. Definitely had to have you guys come in from that seminar that we did in the past. You know, we all kind of tag teamed that, the 3 people that showed up.
Get us somewhere.
Yeah, it's all about the vibes.
So then, so from here, we have a segment here called A Letter from Baxty. And for those of you that don't know, Baxty is my mother, and she is the owner of City Home Inspectors. And this is just a little something that she had to say about Judi. Salome, she would have loved to write something about you, but you're not on social media, man. We can't research you, buddy.
And it's all good.
All right, so right here, this is what she had to say. Judi is a rising star. In such a short time, I witnessed her achieve more than most in the real estate business. She has a social media presence, and with such a caring demeanor, she is someone you can trust when it comes to your real estate business. Clients would definitely benefit from having such a caring person on their team. I want to go back to 2018. Okay, 4 years ago, when Judi decided to sign up. What was the deciding factor? What was the kicker that said, you know what, I think I'm gonna go with real estate?
Honestly, this man right here, because all my life I went to school. I was pregnant, pursuing my associates in science. So all my life I thought I wanted to be a nurse. And fast forward, I did nothing with my degree. I have an associate's in biology, and I literally don't use it to this day. Then I got into the cell phone industry, and I was like, man, I'm really good at sales. I've been doing sales for about 10 years. So I basically listened to the hubby, and I was like, you know what, let me just go for it. Why not? Because I'm really good at sales. I fought him on it, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the rest, he's going to get into that one, but it's so hilarious. But I never look back. Like, the rest is history, and I don't regret making that decision. Nursing.
So many years. For so many years, I watched my mom and, do real estate for a long time. And we met each other through a network marketing company selling home products and things like that for home services and stuff. So I used to see her, she was not only a rock star in real estate, she was a rock star in the cell phone business, a rock star in network marketing. She just had that gift, man, to be able to sell. I suck at selling. She's amazing at it. And I told her, babe, you should look into real estate. Don't fall asleep on it. I think you could do some stuff there. So,
especially with the connection that you had. I mean, it's like you kind of married into like a great setup, so you had this connection and everything that you can really just dive into. So that I'm sure that really was a big deciding factor. And I'm pretty sure his mom was like, oh, hey, when you coming?
Oh, yeah.
100%. And, again, when I saw my mother doing real estate, it was out in Florida. When she started out in Florida, that's when the market was kicking before it crashed in 2008. So I saw the power of real estate firsthand, of how you can go from not having much to having a lot as far as when it came to selling houses and making money. So I was very fortunate to experience that and see that. And, it was very powerful to see. And it's got us very excited, and we're very fortunate to be in this position that we're in.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing too. When it comes to me, I grew up in it as well. My mom was a real estate agent since I was a little kid, so my entire life has just been property. And yeah, so seeing them, and then these single women that just dominated, and that she was doing great, and right before the crash as well. So she was licensed before that. So I witnessed the same thing. What happened before the crash when everybody was just booming, and then what happened after, and then the return.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And was that here? That was in Chicago?
Yes, we were always in Chicago. Yeah.
It's so cool, man. I'm like, I get curious to like know what it was like, because I know what it was like over there. I was curious to see what it was like here. You know what I'm saying? Or even some of these other, states and stuff, like how crazy it got.
Oh yeah, it was bad. There was so many houses, done. So Shlomo, you're from Florida, or you were born and raised here as well?
I was born in Chicago, raised in Detroit, Michigan. And I lived there. I was raised there for about a good 6, 7 years, and then I lived in Florida for about 4 or 5, and then I came back out here and finished high school. Or actually, I started high school. I started high school in Florida my freshman year, finished my freshman year here, and then yeah, I've been here ever since.
So you lived in 3 different states before finishing high school?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm sure, like, at the time it was probably hard. Like, man, I got to go to another school. But you think about it, how much you've learned from living with so many different people. You know what I mean?
You can look at both sides of the coin where you're like, hey, I wish I kind of grew up with a set of friends and kind of go through high school and college and experience this with, the set of friends. But then you look at, as far as the network side of it, how many people I've met, amazing people from all over the states, and even having a military background, I've just been so blessed and fortunate to meet all kind of people from everywhere. So, it's a pretty sweet spot, and I'm very lucky to be here right now where I'm at.
And you said you had a military background?
Yeah, I did Air Force, got in, got out, did 4 years.
Yeah, well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't feel like I did anything, honestly.
Hey, you know what? If something did go down, you were there, right? So
It was pretty cool. I pretty much did it to get a house, honestly. Well, and that's not true. The most. I mean, it was so much good came from it. But I decided to get out earlier than what I wanted. Ended up getting a house out of it, and at a very young, early age, just a testament to more of real estate and what it can do for you. And I've had it for about 10 years now, so I mean, it's just so crazy. A lot of people don't realize how much real estate, it's is in your life, and you don't have to be plugged in to know that. Hey, real estate, you can do a lot of great things.
I mean, you did better than most guys that go to the military. Most guys come back and get a Mustang. You went and bought a house.
Yeah. Having the real estate background, she told me, don't you dare get a house first, then you got your car. And so, I've been lucky, man, to be, to have that kind of guidance to tell me, hey, get your house first. So it's very, very cool. Very cool.
He was 18 years old, 18 or 19.
Yeah, 18,
when he
19,
first bought
like
his
that,
house.
for sure.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah. See, I wish I was that smart. But no. So I did want to touch on that. So the brokerage that you guys work for is your mother's brokerage, right, Shlomo?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was that like growing up? How long has she had the brokerage?
So she had a different brokerage out in Florida at the time. And then when she came back over here to Illinois, I think she took a break for a while because, the market was still rebuilding, and we weren't, sure what was going to happen with the market. And when she got big into it, yeah, she opened up a new brokerage, correct? Yep.
Okay. And how long has she had that brokerage?
She's had that one for about, what? I want to say about 3 or 4 years or something like that. Don't do that. I'm not exactly sure.
So when Judi was coming in, she's basically was starting back up.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, she was doing it on and off, and then she currently resides out of Detroit right now. So kind of, she's still in the mix, but not as much as, as we are in right now. So, but she's had it for a little bit, and we've been able to work it and kind of build it. And
so were you active in her brokerage when she was starting it up, or you were kind of like doing your own thing and just helping out where you could?
That time I was doing something else. I was, a jack of all trades, if you will, doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that. At that time, living out in Detroit, painting houses at that time. So a lot of, and I used to work in housing and things like that around the Humboldt Park area for many, many years. So I was more in the background of kind of doing real estate. Now, when I came back to Chicago, I went to school to become a realtor to get my. And then Judi and we kind of decided, because she has a way prettier face than I do, to get her license, and we would market through her. And she's great with people, great people skills. So we decided to do that. So I'm kind of like, I went to school for real estate and everything like that. It was just smarter for us to kind of through Judi. And
That's basically how I started my career too, but not my girlfriend, my mom, you know. So my mom was the one that, you know, she was kind of the face of the company, and I kind of just, you know, was just the guy, the worker. I was the guy that put up the signs and, you know, fixing light bulbs or doing this and that. She used to call me and my brother her little bodyguards. So she would say, "Cause this client's kind of creepy. Can you guys come with me to, you know?"
A woman in real estate, like, you just don't know what you're gonna walk into. Like,
Right. Yeah. So like we would go to all the showings a lot. You know what I mean? Me, my sister, my brother. I told this story once before, but I'll say it again. Me and my sister, we used to play a game at the open houses. We would go to the houses and we would try to like come up with the backstory to the house. So we would like be smelling the carpets, like, oh, there were smokers, you know, and looking at the pictures, there was a military guy, and we would just come up like and just make up a story for this family and why they're selling it. Oh, there's ghosts in the carpets or something like that, you know.
so crazy that you say that, because growing up watching my mom do this, my dad was also very involved, kind of like I am right now. The way I kind of like what we're doing right now, my dad was heavily involved in this. Kind of seen them from afar at work, and I seen how it was so beneficial for them for my dad to be that guy behind the scenes, kind of, you know, being my mom's right hand man and
you need
helping
that.
her sell the house. Yeah,
Yeah. You need that. You need that right hand.
Yeah,
So.
and I learned a lot of my background from him, how to use a drill and things like that. What you can do to a house, what are the paint a picture to the clients in their head so that they can see themselves in this sort of situation. So I learned firsthand from him, man. He was a monster at that, and that's what we do now. We'll go do a showing, and she'll, you know, be, especially, you know, not to be, you know, gender, you know, male and female, but she would always be with the lady, and I'd always be with the gentleman, and I would always show, like, say, hey, you know, this looks good, that looks good. You can do that. You can, you know, build this to the garage and go crazy, and you know, I've seen that firsthand. I've seen how powerful that is, and we just kind of adopted that philosophy, that strategy, and it's been very beneficial for sure.
So then, yeah. So then that was my next question. Actually, is how does the husband and wife dynamic work when it comes to the sales? So you guys normally do it all together, right? You guys are there. Yeah. So how does that, you guys bounce off each other? Is there any like kind of like, oh, this is the good house? No, that's the good house. Like, do we get a lot of that, or you guys are always like matching?
I love it. It's like I'm working with my best friend. This is it. We're parents too, so I mean, how often do we have like time to go on a romantic fogo de chao like date night? You know, so when we're working together, it's like it's romantic for me. I love it. Me and him get to explore different neighborhoods. We get to see beautiful houses. We vibe off each other. People don't work with you because you know how to sell. They work with you because they can relate with you. So when I the hubby and he's doing his thing, he's like he said, he's vibing with the hubby or whoever, and I'm vibing with the wifey, and you know, painting a picture, you know, and he's doing like, hey man, that furnace, it's not good, or that's a great furnace, like the man thing that I don't know nothing about. So.
It's I know how much it's going for, and I know the comps, but how that furnace is looking.
Oh my God! Before our clients will waste $500, not waste because city home inspectors are like the bomb. But like for our clients, like if it's something that he calls out before them spending that money on an inspection, he's gonna say, "Oh, we should go on to before our clients go through that, and then they find out what he called out on an inspection report." So
and that of course, like, and like when the inspector comes and they call out what you've already called out, they're like, man, my team's the shit. You know, the people I'm working with, they're amazing. You know, so yeah, definitely.
One of the funniest things that I've told her, because there's not all the time I can make it to a showing, so sometimes she'll FaceTime me, because sometimes I stay with the girls, you know, our two little baby girls, and I can't make it sometimes, or even sometimes I'm out doing a job, because I pick up a lot of side work too. If I'm not doing real estate, I'm doing something for sure.
yeah.
started telling her, hey, babe, some of the things to look out for to kind of, give you an edge. Like, hey, so when you're in the water heater, you look at these top, your hot and your cold. If there's corrosion at these pipes, hey, that's kind of, these are the kind of things you want to look for. This is a Rheem brand, or this kind of furnace is a Goodman furnace. That's a great furnace.
Mold.
So it's been pretty cool. We definitely 100% feed off each other. It's different though when if it's ourselves looking for a house for us, it's more intense when it's for personally for us. But when it's for a client, it's always 100% about the client. We always try to work efficiently and always make sure that they're getting themselves into something that they love. We never pressure our clients into getting into something that they don't want to be in. 100% never. And we pride ourselves on that. But working with Harry, man, it's very very cool. It's a privilege for me to see her work. But I've seen her do this before. That's how I knew, many years ago, man, you would kill it. Like, but I've seen her. She just has this way with people, and she's gifted, and we are just so blessed and so fortunate to be here. And it's amazing to be able to work with her on a day-to-day basis, for sure.
I'm gonna faint now.
I love. so, so real quick, I know you guys are engaged, right? You guys are fiance on the way to marriage.
I'll let him explain that.
Yeah. So right now but she said something today though that was hilarious. It's like we're engaged for the engagement, right?
Okay, yeah. I finally did the whole the ring and the knee thing on Christmas.
Oh, man.
We've been together for 9 years already, and people and instead of congratulations, I was getting a lot of finalies. So just be prepared, man. People are gonna be happy for you, but they're gonna be a little upset with you at the same time.
That would be right
8
now.
years. 8 years.
Well, I thought of it like, hey, you know what? Do the engagement year 9. We'll do the wedding year 10. Hey.
I don't have to ask. You can do the asking too.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's like I was waiting for you.
And when I say that, forget about it. When I say that around other women, they look at me with a death stare, like, "Don't you dare do that."
Right? Yeah. No, it's not a good look, bro.
I know this is gonna sound corny, but my passion is being a mom. I love my daughters. Like, I don't know what I would be without my babies. I'm so passionate about being a mom. Like, we're raising 2 little princesses and they're watching us, and it's important that we set a foundation for our children. So I'm really passionate about that. And I'm passionate about them following our own footsteps, because we are paving the way for our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren. And I'm very passionate about that. And it's such a blessing to be able to do real estate, because let me tell you, I'm never gonna miss a beat when it comes to my babies. Like, when I was working a 9 to 5, I missed Mila, which is my oldest. I missed her first steps. Fast forward 2 years later with Eileen, I was there. I was all up in there. I seen her make her her. I was there to catch those moments, and it was just, as a mom, I love it. But I also love cooking, especially because my Mila, she's 3 going on 4. She likes to cook too, so I got a little sous chef. I think that's what it's called, and also love to paint. I can get lost in the paintbrush. I love painting like acrylics, watercolors. I love it. But when you're a mom and you're a realtor and you're a wifey and you're engaged to be engaged, but I don't have time to do it. But when I do have some sort of free time, I like to paint.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I'm passionate about a lot of things. One of the things that I've been raised being passionate about is helping people. Helping people in any way that I can. I pride myself, and I have that kind of heart where, if I'm walking down the street and somebody needs a t-shirt, I'll give the t-shirt right off my back for that person. I just love helping people. Personally believe that we were, on this earth and on this planet to help each other do life, and to be kind. And I love I love that, and I love to stand for that. I love to teach kindness and love and happiness and stuff like that. So I'm very passionate about helping people. I'm very passionate about music. I've done music for a very, very long time. We used to perform all throughout the city at bars and events and things like that. And I love music, and I make music like, even through my little phone, my garage band. I make all kind of stuff, and I'm music teaching my girls right now how to sing, and my little girls have beautiful voices right now. So stay tuned.
Yeah, that's the next podcast. Gonna start a music young musician podcast.
Ina.
Yeah, right, right. I'm
The
gonna be
way
like,
too.
I always told her, I'm gonna be like, have you ever seen the movie Selena the Dad, where he's kind of, chauffeuring her around and teaching her, and I can totally see myself being like that for my girls because they're pretty good, man. She's 3 and she can sing. Like the thing is that she doesn't know that she can sing, so it's pretty cool. But I'm very passionate about those things. I love sports. Big Chicago Bears fan, even though we suck. Uh, I'm very excited though. Justin Fields. Anyways, don't get me started. But I'm passionate about a lot of things. Love a lot of things. But yeah, those are the things that I can say I'm most passionate about. And being a family man, I love being a family guy, and very passionate about that for sure.
I love that he loves that too.
Yeah, everything works out then, right?
She's being very humble right now. She's a beast, and she can cook her butt off for sure. That's what made me stick around. One of the main reasons for all these.
Right, yeah, it's like my girl gets mad at me. I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm like, what am I gonna eat? If I do that, I'm gonna have dino chicken nuggets for the rest of my life. I gotta stick.
She loves to paint, so she's like a Bob Ross over here, just in her zone. But she's a Bob Ross in the kitchen too. She's a master. She's a master.
What is the thing that keeps you guys in real estate? What do you guys love so much about real estate that just you can't seem to leave it?
The time freedom. The time freedom. And money comes and goes, but time, that's more valuable. The time freedom that we get from real estate, it goes hand in hand with watching our babies grow. I don't have a 9 to 5. Don't get it twisted. I work 24/7 in this industry. If you don't if you don't work, you don't get fed. But the time freedom is what I love most about it, and I love that there's so many different fields in real estate. You can do inspections, you can do appraisals, you can buy and flip, you can become a landlord. There's so many fields in real estate, and that's what I love most about it. That and the time freedom.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, I think one of the things that I love most about what we do, for sure, the time freedom. When we first met each other through this network marketing company, one of the things that they were preaching was time freedom. Was don't slave 9 to 5 until you're 95. Be able to be your own boss. Don't give your best hours of your day to your employer. A lot of the times we work 9 to 5 to a 9 to 5. We give our best hours to our employer. We come back tired, hungry, grumpy, and then we give our secondary things of ourselves to our family, the anger, the grumpiness, and we should be giving our families the best. So that stuck with us throughout the years, especially time freedom and residual income, having time and money together. These are things that this is the goal for us.
yeah.
And one of the many things that we can do to achieve that was real estate. So definitely having to be able to have our time back. We can. All our kids are here, and there's there's so many times where I've gone over inspections with clients, and then they'll hear a knock on the door, and my daughter's bringing like, "Here, Daddy, I got you a glass of water," and our clients are just
Melting.
laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, they help. It's like, okay, I'm really gonna sell with them now. I'm buying with them only.
We planned it. Like, come on, come down.
Yeah. Yeah.
This client's mad at me. Come hug me.
To be real, that's what it is, man. To be able, because time is our most valuable commodity, and we don't understand. Sometimes we don't realize.
Yeah.
Cannot buy that back, and so to be able to do this with our family, it's very, very valuable to us and precious. But that's one of the main things that's so appealing to real estate about this is to be able to do this on our own terms.
Oh yeah, and if the babies are sick or real sick,
Yeah.
we don't have to ask anybody for days off. We don't have to ask anybody for vacation time. We don't have to ask permission to live our life, and that's one of the main reasons too that I love real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Powerful. Like, I think we've been touching on it this whole time. A lot of people don't realize how powerful real estate can actually be. You're not selling property. You can obtain property.
it's underrated.
Buy a 3 flat and create residual income that way. Residual income is to have money come in whether you work or not, whether you sleep or not. That money's coming in no matter what. And that's, it's so powerful. If you're not selling it, you can buy it and make money. You can buy and flip it. I mean, there's just so much you can do with real estate that, it's pretty impressive and pretty why we love it so much, for sure.
So then from there, Judy, what would you say to somebody that's like, I want to be a realtor, but I just don't think I'd sell anything?
Well, I will tell them to research all fields of real estate because it's sales. If you don't like sales, then this is not for you. But don't feel discouraged. There's other fields of real estate. Research them. That's my biggest advice. You gotta go in here in you gotta like selling, and number one, you gotta sell, number two, because if you're not selling, you're not producing, and uh, you know. But my biggest advice is just to research all fields of real estate. Find the field that's going to work for you. Not everybody is going to be successful at selling or inspections or buying and flipping. Find something that you feel comfortable in doing and research all the outlets because there's so many fields of real estate and you gotta like to sell.
That's the one thing we're going to be highlighting here in this series is the different avenues of it. So we're definitely going to have like lenders on here and credit people and stuff like that to kind of like, show that there's you just don't only have to be a realtor in order to get into this industry. There's a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah, look at you guys. You guys are like killing it right now. I have to give you guys praise.
We're only as good as our best realtors, so so yeah, that's, and then, again, like with city home inspectors, our thing was, that we really wanted to create something that was realtor friendly, because when we were flipping and when we were out there selling, that was the one thing we were running into is these home inspectors that really just didn't have the people skills. They were engineers and they knew what they were doing. They were not wrong. They just didn't. It's not like I always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So there's 101 ways to say that's jacked up. Just don't say it like that. So yeah, that's my motto when it comes to speaking to clients and everything. But for sure, that's how. And yeah, it took off. People loved that. That way of acting when it came to defects in their homes. And then from there, I have. So, what do you guys think is the most common obstacle that your clients face when they're trying to buy or sell a home?
The biggest obstacle right now that we were just talking about is our clients willing to compromise. In a perfect world, we can want 17 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, but it's all in the power of the pre-approval. If the pre-approval is saying you cannot do that, then we have to stick to those means. And if they're serious about buying a house, they have to learn to compromise because it's all about the pre-approval and what you can afford. And, we are very honest with our clients. If you're real, you're going to get real results. So, part of that too is making the decision that they are ready to become homeowners and are willing to take on everything that comes with being a homeowner. So I believe that those are the two. Yeah.
Those are definitely great points. I think another big point that people find overrated is making sure your client can be as coachable as possible. Being coachable is very, very key, and having your client understand, hey, this is what I can afford, this is what I can't afford. If you got approved for an example 250, we need to be looking at 240 and under, and don't send me things at 275,000.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, that we could negotiate it down, but like, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a seller's market right now. The sellers are holding all the cards right now. It's amazing how many people are waiving their inspection rights or their appraisal rights. Like, oh, whatever, as long as I want the house, so.
That's why we pride ourselves in putting our clients in position to win. Like she said, she touched on it. If you're real with your clients, you will get real results. And a lot of times, we don't like to be, telling people what they want to hear. We have to tell you the tough thing, so that way you know what to expect, and that way we can be productive. So as long as your client can be as coachable as possible, that should be, a major goal. Is that, that way you map out a great game plan. We can follow the game plan, and we can be successful in getting the keys to your house. So it's very, very,
Crucial.
a little this, a
Yeah.
little that, but those are some of the big things. And they're small things. These are things we can control, which is the crazy thing. If we be coachable, if we understand the information and follow the game plan. Don't buy a car before closing.
Does that happen as much as they joke around that it does?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
We lost a couple few.
We had a few clients through, and then we showed to the house, and they're like, "Hey, look at my new car!" And
We're like, when did you? What?
I was like, was that a gift? Please tell me it was a gift. hmm Yeah. So do you guys feel that that the general public does not know about this pre-approval?
Yeah.
I do know one of the biggest failures of the educational system is not teaching us younger adults about credit. So yeah, I don't think the majority, well, at least in my generation, I don't even think the millennials know about this. But it's sad because a lot of us do not know how important credit is, and not getting into a car note until we mess up and we get in. Yeah, that's when we learn, and we find out that was not a good move. But hey, we live and we learn, and bet you the second time around, when it's time and the car's paid off, they won't do it again.
Yeah, a lot,
So
it can be, a lot of people don't realize that this is one of the biggest purchases that you're gonna make in your life.
yeah.
So it can be very nerve wracking. You're not, especially if you didn't do homework, you're relying on your realtor or your team to kind of guide you through here, and you're just kind of going and following them, and
Yeah.
it's very nerve wracking for them. But 100%, I feel like a lot of our clients did not know much about the pre-approval
Process.
process.
Yeah, I know that's something that I noticed too. That people are like, hey, I want a house in this neighborhood, and I'm like, when I was back at doing it, and I was like, well, did you get pre-approved? Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, well, you got to get pre-approved. No, I don't want to pull my credit. I just want to start looking. Like, no, well, we can't. Like, we're not gonna do that. We have to see what you qualify for. And then it's funny too, because like I'll have friends tell me like, hey, I want to buy a house next year, and I'm like, well, did you try to get a pre-approval done already? And they're like, no, I'm not ready till next year. Well, how do you know? I mean, how do you know you're gonna be ready next year? Go see somebody, get your paperwork in, and let's see. Maybe you qualify now, or maybe you do need a year, and they could let you know. But yeah, it's it's either or, So I always like try to for some reason that needs to be out there more. Everyone knows to see a realtor when you want to buy, but no one talks about the pre-approval part.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
agree.
And like you said, you hit it on the head. There's times where we've had clients who are like, well, I don't know, my credit's only at 670. You have 670 and you've been at your job for 3, 4, 5 years, and you have you're ready to go. And
Yeah.
they're like, what? It's pretty crazy, but yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people don't know about this process as they should, and it's not as complicated as a lot of people think that it is. It goes along those lines. What we said: if you're coachable and you're willing to allow us to lead you through this process, you'll have your house pretty fast. As long as take our lead, follow instructions,
Trust the realtor.
trust us, and
Yeah.
within 3 months you'll have keys to a brand new house, and they're like, what? So I mean, it's pretty crazy for sure. Yeah.
Well, great. Yeah, I guess that's our time for today. Thank you guys so much for coming in. This was a really good episode. I'm very excited to see when it comes out. I'll definitely be letting you guys know. It's gonna be a couple weeks. I have to get it through editing and everything, and we'll let you guys know when it's gonna release. For people that are listening in, do you want to kind of let them know how they could find you, your handles, or your the phone number to call if they want to hire you guys for a property?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for having us on this show. I'm so excited for you.
Very
And
cool.
it's amazing.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. We were always
You're the
talking
best.
about like, man, I would always love to do a podcast. Everybody's doing them now, and it's like, man, it'd be so cool to be a part of it. And
Why not? Everybody has an angle. Everybody has a life, and everyone has a story to tell. You know what I mean? So get those stories out there.
yeah, you hit us up, and we're like, yeah, we're
Let's
so
do
happy
it.
we can do it. And you told us, and then we got so nervous, like, oh, this is real.
Yeah. I was the same way. I actually did a podcast for a buddy of mine in the past, and it was more, like comic book stuff and I was so nervous and everything. And then, and I did a couple for his podcast back, a couple months back, and it was just something in my head. And for everyone to know, this came out as a drunken conversation with me and my mom. We were sitting there, we were in Florida, we're having a couple cocktails, and we're like, it'd be a good idea. Then from there, we both woke up in the morning. We're like, you know what? That was a really good idea. It was the only thing we remember from the whole night. But, from there we went on, and here we are today,
Put it down on your arm, like, yeah, I got it.
It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Podcast for business, But yeah. So then, I'm sorry, I think we cut you off. So how would they get a hold of you guys if our audience wanted to hire you guys?
So I am on Facebook. You can add me. It's under my name is Judi Rentas. You can add me on Instagram too, under Judi the Realtor. Judi with an I, Judi. Judi the Realtor, or you can text or call me directly. My phone number is 773-367-6865.
And my social media is under construction right now. Pretty soon my page will be linked to hers. It'll be more underneath a handyman's kind of page here to create, do business and side work on the side and alongside. So we'll be marketing pretty soon, all both of us together on hers, and on my page will be linked to hers. So.
Yeah, some things in the works.
In the background.
Well, again, thank you guys so much for coming in today. I really do appreciate it. If anybody that didn't hear how to get a hold of Judi, we're going to have that in the description, and we're going to have her business card pop up after we fade to black here. So again, guys, thank you so much for your time, and I really do appreciate you guys.
Thank you
man.
so
We
much,
appreciate
Mike.
it.
Have a good one. Thank you so much.